Hey, y'all, Donnie B, LPR. I got to learn to say these words, man. Hey, y'all, Donnie B, Learn Pro Recording. How you doing? You know the site that not only shows you how to do a little recording, but more importantly, and just as important, how to get paid for it. You know, this is all about the business of making music. And today, we're actually not talking about music. We're talking about audio dramas. It's going to be awesome. Let's get into it. So, hey, look, an audio drama, some people might call it a podcast. Some people might call it a play. I've heard it called a play. Basically, what it is you are going to tell a story without a picture. You're just going to do it in audio. Think old-timey radio programs from the 30s and 40s where the whole family gathered around the radio and listened to the mysteries and the science fiction, and and it was awesome, man. I personally don't know because I wasn't there, but that kind of reminds me of that. Audio dramas kind of remind me of that, and it's really creative for me because I get to create a soundscape. I get to create a picture in the listener's mind of what's going on. And I use sound to do that, and it's awesome. It's really cool to find the right sound effect for the sound of the door that you have opening and closing that's in your mind, and that translates to the listener. When they hear the door open and close, they understand that you wanted that type of door. You wouldn't want to be in a small apartment and have a big giant church door opening and closing. It just doesn't work in your mind, In somebody's mind, it doesn't work. Or you wouldn't want to talk about a 64 Mustang driving off into the sunset and then having, the sound of a Volkswagen. It doesn't work. So you, as an audio engineer and as a producer of audio dramas, which hopefully you guys will do that, man. You guys that are strictly thinking about music and you can only make money making music, and no. Dude, there's all kind of things. There's a live, I'll put a link right here to the live group coaching call we had last week. It was all about that. It was all about other things that you can do to make money in your studio. It was awesome, man. There's a whole list of things that you could do you may not have thought of, but you have a studio, so you can go make that money doing these other things. It doesn't have to be just about music in your studio. I mean, if you need to make money right away and the phone ain't ringing because nobody's working on music, you could work on other things, edits, audio dramas. So that's what we're talking about today is audio dramas. And audio dramas are awesome. They're a lot of fun to work on. You could also think about it as voiceover demos for people that are trying to get voice acting jobs. You need to make them sound like they actually did a commercial on the radio with whatever they're talking about. Say they're talking about Ford trucks and how tough they are. You might want the sound of you might want some really cool background music like you see in a Ford truck commercial. Or you might want you might want the sound of a truck pulling up and gravel and dirt and four-wheel drives. And, you gotta make that happen in somebody's mind with just sound. And it's awesome, man. It's really a lot of fun. So in this episode, I have, and you might recognize the voice, if you know what I'm saying. But no, I created an audio drama. I'm going to play, at the end of this episode, I'm going to play just the audio of just the dialogue. And then I'm going to play the dialogue with the sound effects that I inserted and see if you think it's a different soundscape. Maybe you can now understand what the dialogue is trying to portray or trying to get across to you now a little bit better and a little bit easier because there's sounds involved. There's sound effects. There's sounds. There's a little music and there's a little bit of ambiance, and you can actually feel the vibe, man. You can feel what the actor is trying to tell you. And audio dramas are just a lot of fun, man. I get passionate talking about these because they're just a lot of fun to work on. They're a ton of fun to do. They're it can be lucrative if you add that to your repertoire of things that you can do for money in your studio. I mean, this is just another thing that you can do, you get good at, and you can sell. These are things you can do remotely. I've had the actors just do the voice. They might have a microphone in a little studio at the house, and they record the dialogue at the house, and then they send me the file, and I add all the sound effects and the music, and I mix it and master it, make it sound awesome, and then send it back to them. And they can use that as a demo. And you do that, in an afternoon and make $250 or something. You know what I'm saying? So there are other ways to make money in your studio today. And hopefully you guys will grasp some of that, and you'll enjoy this little the little demo that I'm doing today. Yeah, I did it. And it's funny because I tried to find one. I tried to find one that I could use online. I couldn't find one. I really couldn't find one that was good enough that I thought was something that would that I could use on YouTube, because YouTube's really picky about copyright stuff now. So you got to be really careful with what you put out there. All of the sound effects that I used in this demo, I actually pay for. I use a site Envato.com. I'll put a link to it in the description. You guys can go there, check out some of the sound effects. It's awesome, man. You can do a search for like a dog bark, and it, you know, shows you all the dog barks, and you choose which one you want. You choose which one like fits your audio drama, fits where you are. You know, you might want a distant dog bark. You might want one sitting right on your lap. You know, and they're all in there, man. And there's royalty-free music at Envato. There's also royalty-free video clips you can use. Envato's great. It's not that expensive. I find it worth the money. I use it enough to the return on investment is well done, and I enjoy it, and it's cool. Not that I don't get paid. I'm not an affiliate. None of that stuff. So that's the one that I like, and that's the one that I use. I've been using it for years. So there you go. Hopefully you guys get some value out of that. We got some cool stuff coming up this week. I wanted to talk to you about the blog post coming up this week is going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to be surprised. But it's going to be awesome. Yeah, basically, I don't know. I haven't made it up yet. I'm kidding. No, the blog post this week is going to be really good. There might be a free plugin involved, so y'all pay attention to that. So got some other stuff coming up. I got some things I'm moving around, some things I'm working on, and I'm going to make it easier for you to get the things you need to learn how to make this your day job. Make this have this take over your day job money, man. If you're doing this for a living, it is awesome, and I think you guys are on your way, man. And I mean, you got to remember that all this started with me from a laptop in my dining room table, and it grew and grew and grew because you have the passion to do it. You just got to go do it. Yeah, bro, it's tough. It's hard, but you can't think about that. You just got to go do it. If you really want it, you're gonna go do it, and that's how it works. You know, so hey, let me run these things for you, man. And in the comments down below, let me know what you think about the difference between just the dialogue and then the dialogue with the sound effects on it. Let me know, man. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. You guys that are in my community, let's talk about it in the community, man. And maybe I can share these files with the community members, and you guys work on it on your own. I give you the dialogue, and you find your own sound effects and put them in there. That might be a cool thing for next month, man. Let's do an audio drama for next month. We'll build it, give you all the sound effects, and you guys put it together. All right, kind of like a Lego set or something. You know, it'd be fun. So let's do that. I'm gonna run the clips now, and you guys enjoy that. I got to get out of here. I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do. We're super busy this week. We got some things coming up that, I got to get ready for. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a few minutes. And, if you ever have any questions, you can reach me right here at info@learnprorecording.com. I'll be here for you. Answer anything for you. Anything you need. So I am Donnie B. I am out of here. I'll talk to y'all next week. Peace. It was a dark night here in rural Arkansas, and the frogs were making all kind of noises, singing like they do in late August. He was sitting on the couch watching the TV, when all of a sudden he could hear a truck coming down the long gravel driveway toward the trailer. He wasn't sure who it could be this late at night. He looked at the clock on the living room wall, and it was almost 8:30. Most folks around here are getting ready to go to sleep. I mean, 4:30 comes quick when you're a coal miner living in these parts. A few minutes later, he knew the truck was here. He heard the door open and close, and then somebody walking up the steps of the porch. The knock on the door kind of startled the dog, and he barked once just to let the visitor know that he was there. The knock happened again. He got up, opened the door to see a guy with a pizza box and a 6-pack of Bud Light, and the guy said, "Here's your delivery." And then he put the gun down on the table by the door and looked at the guy and said, "Yeah, you must have the wrong address. I would never order any food that would come in a box, and especially with a 6-pack of Bud Light." And then he closed the door. It was a dark night here in rural Arkansas, and the frogs were making all kind of noises, singing like they do in late August. He was sitting on the couch watching the TV, when all of a sudden he could hear a truck coming down the long gravel driveway toward the trailer. He wasn't sure who it could be this late at night. He looked at the clock on the living room wall, and it was almost 8:30. Most folks around here are getting ready to go to sleep. I mean, 4:30 comes quick when you're a coal miner living in these parts. A few minutes later, he knew the truck was here. he heard the door open and close and then somebody walking up the steps of the porch. The knock on the door kind of startled the dog, and he barked once just to let the visitor know that he was there. The knock happened again. He got up, opened the door to see a guy with a pizza box and a 6-pack of Bud Light, and the guy said, "Here's your delivery." And then he put the gun down on the table by the door and looked at the guy and said, "Yeah, you must have the wrong address. I would never order any food that would come in a box, and especially with a 6-pack of Bud Light." And then he closed the door.